Hi, welcome to Love and Life's Journey. I'm Chantel. If you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you stick around and click that subscribe button and hit the bell when it appears so that YouTube will notify you when I upload new videos. If you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find those links in the description box below. Today I have a really exciting DIY for you. It's a Dollar Tree DIY and something that I came up with that I just love how it turned out. It is a Christmas lamp post, and I hope you will love it as much as I do. It's made with almost all Dollar Tree items and costs about $14 to make. And if you went to the store to buy something like it, it would cost you probably $40 at least. So I'm just really excited to show this to you. I hope that you like it. So let's get started. For this project, you will need 4 of these tumbling tower block games, a pole about 24 inches high, and I'm going to use the handle of this dustpan I got at Dollar Tree, and then 4 4x6 picture frames, and you'll want to make sure that they are flat and not beveled on the edges. You'll also need some embellishments, and these are some I got at the Dollar Tree, just some Christmas picks. The burlap ribbon is actually some that I already had, but you can get that at Dollar Tree as well. And then these garland ties that come in a package of 12. The first step is just to take some wood glue and your tumbling tower blocks, and we're going to glue them together using the wood glue and a paintbrush so you don't get too much glue, and just make 1 row of 10 blocks, and then you're going to repeat that so that you have a total of 4 rows of 10 blocks. Once you have all 4 rows, then you're going to take those and glue them together so that you have a square, or it's a little bit more rectangle, but so they're all glued together, and then you're going to set that aside to dry. You're going to repeat that 2 more times so that you have a total of 3 squares. Then set 2 of them aside, and we're going to take 1 of them and add a border of blocks just around the outside edge. Once you have your border on, then you're going to add some wood glue to the center, and you're going to place one of your other pieces on top and press it down firmly. Then just wipe the excess glue off and set something heavy on it to dry. Next, you're going to prep your dowel for your post, and I was going to use this handle of this dustpan, but it turned out to be way too flimsy and flexible because it's just plastic. So I would recommend just getting a dowel about 1 inch in diameter from Walmart or your craft store and just painting it black. Then you're going to take a butterfly drill bit, the diameter of your dowel, and in the center of your base, the one that we glued the smaller piece onto the larger piece, we're going to drill a hole just for that hole to seat into when we glue it, just to make it a little more sturdy. You'll want to make sure that you do not drill all the way through the base. I just drilled till the point of the butterfly bit started to come through the bottom, and that way you'll still have a good surface to glue your pole to. Next, you just want to get some black paint. You could use chalk paint or acrylic craft paint like I have here, and you can get that at Walmart for 50 cents a bottle, and I think even the dollar store might have it. But you just paint your base all black. But don't paint inside the hole because we want that to be a good surface for the glue to adhere to. Then you just want to put your glue on the end of your post that you've also painted black and put that into the hole. You want to use a good glue for this. E6000 is a good choice, along with some hot glue to help hold it up while it's drying. Or you can just use the Gorilla Glue glue sticks in the hot glue gun. I found that also worked really well, especially with the wood dowel. I wanted to make sure that my pole was standing as straight as possible, so I added just a little bit more glue around the base of the pole, and then I just took some heavy objects that were sitting around and just set them around the pole to help steady it while it was drying, and that way my pole was nice and straight. Then we're also going to drill a little bit of a hole in the other wood piece, and this one is a little tricky because it's just one thickness of the blocks, and so you can't go very deep, but it does just give it a good place for the top of the pole to sit in so it doesn't slide around when you're trying to glue it. Now we're going to attach that piece that we just drilled the hole in, or the indentation in, to the top of the post. And this is a little bit tricky. You're going to use some hot glue. I suggest the Gorilla Glue to hold it well, and then a level to help you get it straight. And the hot glue won't dry immediately, so it gives you a little bit of time to work with it, and once you get it level, then you just want to hold it steady until the hot glue sets enough to hold it in place. Now we're going to assemble our lantern, and for this you're going to use the 4 picture frames, and the size you want are 4x6, and you want to make sure that they are the flat frames, that they don't have any bevels or ridges on the frame, so that they'll glue together well. And so you're just going to pull out the little metal tabs on the back and remove all the contents, and then on 3 of the frames you're going to just hot glue the glass in to hold it in place. For the 4th picture frame, just remove all of the contents, including the glass. All we're going to use is the frame on that 4th picture frame. Then we're just going to glue the 4 picture frames together. So take one of the frames that has glass in it, add some E6000 to one side and a little bit of hot glue to help it adhere quickly, and then just add another frame with glass in it, perpendicular to the one on the table. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And then the 4th frame is the one that does not have glass in it, and you're just going to add glue to the tops of both of the vertical frames and just glue that 4th frame right on top. So then you have a box. Now we need to make the top of our lantern. So you're going to take a piece of paper and just set your lantern on the corner and just trace around it. And you're going to do this on 2 pieces of paper. So So now you have a rectangle drawn on your paper the size of your lantern. You're going to measure and find the halfway point on the short side and then draw a line dissecting it in half. Then you'll need to decide how tall you want your top of your lantern to stand. I did mine about 3.5 to 4 inches. So I'm just going to measure up that halfway line 3.5 inches, and then from the corner of each side I'm going to draw a line making a triangle. I know that sounds confusing, but it'll make sense in a minute. Then I'm just cutting this out to use as a pattern for the ends of the top of my lantern. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the long side, and I'm going to measure and find the halfway point, and then I'm going to draw a line dissecting that in half, and then I'm going to measure up that halfway line to the same height that I did on the first triangle, which was 3.5 inches. And then from that point, draw a line to the corners, making a triangle. And then this will be the template for the sides of the top of my lantern. Now I'm just going to trace 2 of each triangle on a piece of cardboard, and then I'm going to cut them out using a box knife or razor knife. I did try to use scissors, but it kind of bent the cardboard up, so I think using a razor knife is probably the best. Just be careful not to cut yourself. Then I'm just going to use some black acrylic paint and a sponge brush and paint all of those pieces. Then I also have a little wooden ball that I'm going to paint black as well and use that as the finial on top of my lantern. To assemble the top of the lantern, I'm just going to use hot glue and just put a line of hot glue along one edge and set the cardboard piece on that. And then I'm going to bend it in a little bit as the glue dries and just hold it so it dries a little bit at an angle. And then you're just going to continue adding the top pieces, lining them up, and make sure that they meet at the top point. Once I had my top glued on, I took a small paintbrush and some black paint and just filled in on the seams where there was the natural color cardboard showing through, just to give it a more finished look. Then I just took a little glue and glued my little wooden ball to the top to finish it off. Now we're going to attach the lantern to the post, and I'm just going to take some E6000 and go around the bottom of the lantern, and I'll also add some hot glue in a few places just to help it adhere quickly while that E6000 is drying. Then you're just going to take your lantern and line it up exactly on that base. It'll fit perfectly. The open side goes to the back, and just let it dry completely. Of course, we want to add some embellishments, so I'm just going to take one of the floral picks that I got at Dollar Tree, and this one had a cute little red bird on it. Thought that was perfect for the top of the lantern, so I'm just going to hot glue that to the top of the lantern.
Then I'm going to take 3 of the garland ties that are just like pipe cleaners, but they're made out of the pine garland, and I'm going to twist them together to make a longer piece. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the post to give it a little bit more of a festive look. And then when you have it in place, just go ahead and secure it with a little bit of hot glue at the top and at the bottom. I wanted my lamppost to have a little bit more of a farmhouse look, so I'm adding a little piece of this nautical rope that I got at the Dollar Tree just around the base, just to help tie it in with the burlap ribbon that I'm going to be using. I'm also adding another floral pick that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to bend it and flare it out a little bit, cut off the extra stem that I don't need, and then just hot glue that to the bottom. Then to finish it off, I'm going to make a bow out of my wired burlap ribbon, and I'm just going to pinch that together and take a little bit of that nautical rope, the same kind that I used on the base, and I'm going to wrap that around the center of my bow 3 times and glue it just to secure it and just help tie it all together. So once you have your bow just the way you want it, just take some hot glue and glue it right to the post wherever you think it looks good. And that's all the embellishments that I'm going to put on my lamppost, but you could certainly add whatever you want to. I even thought maybe putting some fake snow on some of the edges would be a nice touch. So we left that back glass panel out so that we could put a light in our lantern. This is a solar powered candle light from Dollar Tree, and I really like the way it looks in the lantern. But if you want something different, you could also use one of the LED pillar candles from Dollar Tree. Now remember, you do not want to use something with a real flame because the top is made out of cardboard and is flammable. So be sure just to use an LED or solar light in your lantern. But don't you love the way this turned out? It's so fun and festive for the holidays.
So there you have it, my Dollar Tree Christmas lamppost, and isn't it so cute? A couple of things that I learned when making this project was the dustpan handle was not the greatest idea because it was too flexible, and the weight of the lantern on top just caused the pole to kind of lean one side or the other. So I would highly suggest not using that, and just go to Walmart or your local craft store and get about a 1-inch dowel and use that instead. The basic assembly is the same. You just paint your dowel and drill the holes like we did for the handle of the dustpan, but it will be so much more sturdy. In fact, I ended up taking mine apart and replacing that handle with a wooden dowel from that I just got at Walmart. It was like $1.97. So I did have to cut it down to be the right height that I wanted it to be, but that was really easy, and it's just so much sturdier and straighter, and I'm so much happier with it. So lesson learned, you know, things don't always turn out the way you envision it. You just kind of have to tweak it sometimes. So that's my advice, and also make sure you use a good sturdy glue. You can use E6000. Also using the Gorilla glue sticks is a good idea because those are a little stronger. So those are just some tips, and I hope that you try this project out. If you do, I would love to see your version. Please post a picture on my Facebook page or on Instagram and just hashtag Love and Life's Journey, and I would love to see your projects. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and of course you'll find the links to my social media in the description box below, as well as the link to Dollar Tree's website, so that if you can't find something at your local Dollar Tree, or if you don't live near a Dollar Tree, you can always check out the website. You might be able to get some of the things there. Also, a lot of the items that I use for this can just be found at Walmart, so you can check there as well. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.